Hello, welcome to Yogesh Apps Technology Private Limited. Now we are going to see how to enter an invoice in the Accounts Payable module. The navigation, open the Accounts Payable responsibility and go to the menu Invoices and then click Entry. You should open the Invoice workbench. Select the type of the invoice you would like to enter. It can be standard or prepayment or debit memo or credit memo, and select the supplier name for whom you wanted to enter the invoice. If you know the supplier number, you can enter the supplier number directly. If you don't know the supplier number, then enter the few words of the supplier name with the percentage, starting with percentage and then the supplier name and then percentage and then tab, which will open list of values where you can select the supplier you would like to enter the invoice. And then if the supplier has only one site, then by default that site will come automatically, or if the supplier has two sites, then you need to select the supplier site and then enter the invoice date, then enter the invoice number. This invoice number has to be unique, and enter the invoice currency and enter the invoice amount. Once you enter the invoice amount and then tab it, and then as per your implementation setup, the document category and the voucher number will default automatically, and then select the GL date. Normally the GL date will be defaulted as per your from your invoice date or the current date. If you are online, then there's no problem. Or if you are, entering the invoices simultaneously for a couple of months, then you need to be careful for selecting the GL date. So whatever the GL date you need to select, you need to select it and then select the payment currency. About the GL date and invoice date, I will explain in a separate video what is important on the selection of the dates. So how the dates are important in a payable module, I will explain in a separate video. Please go through that, some procedures and functionality about the dates. Okay, now we move on. So next select the payment rate date, which defaults again, and the payment date, which terms date defaults again as per the terms you are already given in the supplier master, and then terms defaults from the supplier master, payment method defaults from the supplier master. If you would like to change any of these, you need to change them according to your requirement. The pay group comes again automatically from the supplier master. Now you know how important it is to select these default values or the as per your requirement at the time of creating the suppliers. Then if you are in the country where the tax codes needs to be selected, then you need to select the tax codes on the right hand side, extreme right hand side of the in that same invoice line. If everything else are over, then you can click on the distribution button, which is right bottom of that screen.